Hello, everybody. It's time for liberal arts math again. And today we're going to talk about classifying triangles by their shape, which means their sides, and also by their angles. So we're going to take a minute to talk about the three types of triangles we have, and then we're going to talk about them, the properties or their attributes, and then their angles. And then what you'll do is after we're done with this, you'll have a couple little guided notes to include some stuff in there. And then I'll have you guys do a short little assignment to turn in. The reason why we're doing this today is because next week you guys are going to be doing what we call the triangle sum theorem. And you need to know the properties and the types of triangles in order to do that. So you need to know some things about all of these things to get there. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is there are three types of triangles we're going to talk about. A scalene, an isosceles, and an equilateral. And the way Miss Edison thinks about a scalene triangle is Miss Edison hates getting on the scale because that would remind me that I need to lose weight every day. Although I have been going walking and I've been eating a little healthier since we've been stuck in our homes all this wonderful time. So a scalene triangle means every single side is a different length. So on here it says it has no equal, and you're going to put the word sides. So none of the sides are going to be equal. So that's one of the things about it. And if you look, here's a long side. This side's a little shorter, and then this side's a different side. And if you actually looked at it and you took something and measured with a pen or a piece of paper, you would actually see that these two sides are actually different lengths. It also has no equal angles. So the sides and the angles are not equal. I'm trying to get in as close as I can, guys. Sorry. They printed this for me at Staples today, and it's just really the best they could do for me. Okay, so the sides and the angles are not equal. There is no line of symmetry. I can't draw a line through it anywhere and get the same picture on either side. And with that being said, there is no point of symmetry either. And then the angles inside the triangle can be different measures. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But they can be obtuse. I'm going to put it right here. Obtuse, acute, or right. So in the thing, they can be three different angles. So here, this is less than 90 degrees. This is bigger than 90 degrees. And this looks like it's just a little bit more. Okay, so obtuse, acute, or right. So scalene, the sides are different lengths. So I'm just going to put over here, scalene. I'm going to draw a picture. Three different length, sides, and that stands for angles. Okay? And this is one length, two lengths, and a third length. Now the next one is what we call isosceles. I-S-O-S-C-E-L-E-S. And it looks like this. All right. Now, I'm like working my way through here in this tiny little area, guys. I'm so sorry. Isosceles. The first word I have two what? Eyes. Isosceles. I have two sides that are equal. Two equal length sides. And that's the thing. Two sides are equal to each other. So that's an isosceles triangle. You have two sides that are exactly equal to each other. And this third side down here in the third side of an isosceles triangle, which is unequal to the other two sides, is called the base. And that's going to be important when you have to find the area of a triangle. So this is your base, and then these are your sides. Okay, and then the two angles opposite to each side are what we call congruent, meaning equal to each other. That means it has congruent base angles, which means these angles are going to be equal to each other. And this is called isosceles base angle theorem. And we're going to get into that next week. So these angles will be the same exact measure. And then over here, the last one, equilateral. Forgive my picture, but doesn't look perfect. That's not very good. Okay, all three sides are equal, and all three angles are equal. And this is called equilateral. Equa means equal. So that's an equilateral triangle. So in an equilateral triangle, all three sides are equal, and all your angles are equal. And it is a regular polygon with three what? Sides. So that's an equilateral triangle. And the big thing you need to know is a triangle, all angles add up to, you can't see what I'm writing, 180 degrees. So the three angles in a triangle are going to equal 180 degrees. Okay? So we have a scalene, three unequal sides with three unequal angles. And those angles can be obtuse, acute, or right. Isosceles, the two sides are equal and two angles are equal. I have two eyes. And then an equilateral triangle, all your sides are equal. And this picture is much better than mine. Your sides and your angles are exactly the same. Now over here, okay, we're going to now classify our angles by, our triangles just by the angle. So this right here is what we call an acute triangle. Acute. Have you ever seen a cute little baby? Acute. Cute means small. That means less than 90 degrees. So it has three acute angles. So all of the angles are going to be less than 90 degrees. So all three angles will be less than 90 degrees. If you look at here, they've got 80, they've got 70, and they've got 30 in this one. And if I add that up, I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, and look at that. It gives me 180 degrees. And how do I know that these are less than 90? I could take a piece of paper here, and I can measure, and I can say it's just a little smaller than it's a right angle, and it also gives me that. Right here, do you see that that's not a perfect square or a perfect angle? And then the same thing right here. Okay, so that's how I can see that. Obtuse. You ever hear the word obese? Obese means it's fat. Okay, so this means they're going to be bigger than 90 degrees. And it means one angle. Okay, so an obtuse triangle is a triangle with one of two angles, obtuse angles, and then it's going to have, so one obtuse and then two acute, because that's the way it's going to add up. So you got to look, and if you look here, see this one's bigger than 90 degrees? And I can tell that, it tells me that, but if I look right here, look at this right here, when I put this paper here, and I draw this here, look what I see. Do you see this line here? It shows me that this right here would be 90 degrees, so I can see that from here to here, it's probably like 100, 110 degrees. So obtuse means bigger than 90 degrees. Only one angle is bigger than 90. And then an equilateral triangle, all angles are equal. And an equilateral, each of the angles are always going to be 60 degrees, because 60 times 3 is 180 degrees. Because remember, the angles have to add up to 180 degrees. All right, so that's what you're doing. Oh, sorry, moving my table. So that's what we're doing today. We're classifying triangles by their properties, their sides, and by their angles. all right, and their shape. So you're going to have a short little worksheet where or a page you're going to turn in, and then you're just going to tell me, if I ask you for the property, you'll tell me scalene, isosceles, equilateral. And if I want to know by the angle, I want to know acute, obtuse, or equilateral. Remember, obtuse is just with one angle less than, or greater than 90 degrees. Acute triangle, all of them are going to be less than 90 degrees. Okay. And an equilateral triangle, every one of them is going to be 60 degrees. Alrighty. If you have any makeup work for me, please get it in. We are more than halfway through the 9 weeks. I've had to put zeros in. I hate doing that. Just keep up, keep pushing along, keep chugging along. I know it's hard learning this way, but I am doing my very, very best for you guys to make a video every week. Next week, again, as I said, it's going to be triangle sum theorem. We'll do that for 2 weeks. And then we'll kind of be doing some review. We're getting close to the end, guys. All right, I hope you're doing well. If you need anything, message me. Bye.